Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. So welcome to Facebook Live. We are going to do Christmas in July, which, always excites me, but it's a chance for us to make a Christmas project. I don't know why I say us. I think because I think of us, you, me, all of us here in this space making cards together. So let's see here. Let's get up and running. So how is your Tuesday going, everybody? I am running some Zooms today, so I already have my computer set up over here. So it's much easier than my iPad, turns out, to just have that up and running next to me so I can see your comments and talk to you throughout the video. So we are good to go. So welcome if you're coming in live or you're watching on the replay. I'm happy that you're here. So I do have a fun announcement. I just found out there is free shipping with Stampin' Up! Orders starting tomorrow, July 23rd. So I want to say a date in case you're watching this later. July 23rd to the 25th. There will be free shipping on orders $75 or more. So it's a great time to stock up on things like cardstock or adhesives. You could look ahead to stocking stuffers, Christmas gifts, that sort of thing. So free shipping is a wonderful time. It's definitely one of my favorite ways to shop is with free shipping, and you'll still earn your 10% rewards even on free shipping days. So that starts tomorrow, July 23rd to the 25th. I think that was all, probably, maybe. So I always like to put my camera, I used to show Happy Mail right up here next to my face, but as you can see from my sign back there, it's now backwards. So it's just easier to do Happy Mail by putting my camera down. So we'll just head that direction. Woo, let's see if we can get this. Goodness gracious, I don't know what I just did to my stuff. Okay. So we'll just get our space here so we can do some Happy Mail. And okay, the first one is from somebody in Virginia, because I don't see a name on it, so we'll see if there's a name on the inside. So it says no, but it says from me to you. How cute is that? I like that. And then it says thank you. Some fun little squiggles and designs here. Looks like there we go. Very cute design. And then I've got one from Margene Eskelson in Wyoming. And here we go. It says a heartfelt thank you. Look at all those cute little strips. I love the size. That's so fun. And I love how they're just put on here in, kind of wonky different ways. It's so cute. And then her note there on the inside. That's super cute. I'll have to go back and read that message later. And then last but not least, this is from Chad Williams. He is a Stampin' Up! Employee. My, what do they call them? DDMs, Demonstrator Development Manager, I think. What does this say? It says time to celebrate. Oh, it's a congratulations for earning the Alaska trip. So thank you to all of you for being here, supporting me, and being the reason that I am able to celebrate and earn a trip like Alaska. So thank you for that. All right, and then I got this package here, which I did pre-open, so you wouldn't have to listen to that happening. But it is from LeVar Lashmet in Wisconsin, and I haven't opened it, so I don't know what's in here. Okay, we've got a card, and we've got a bag. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna look at that in just a second. Let's look at the card first. We do all sorts of Happy Mail on this video. It says, thank you. Cute little strawberries. And then she's got her message here, so I'll have to take a look at that. And then we've got, oh my gosh, how cute is that? Hold on, let me get it out of the bag. Look, it's a little, well, it's like a cat toy. It even has a little bell on it. Let's see if I can make that ring. Oh, a little bit of a ring. I love Crocs. Crocs are just so much fun. I'll have to add this to my collection of Crocs. How cute is that, you guys? It's got the little kitty cat strap on the front. Now I'm allergic to cats, so this is probably the best and only way that a cat will ever be in my presence because this cat is not going to make me terribly sick. So, but oh my gosh, that's super cute. So thank you, LeVar. That's really sweet. All right, let me move this stuff aside here. We are going to do a Christmas fun fold today, and I need to make y'all dizzy and sick. No, just kidding. No, I do need to switch this. Give me just a second here. Okay, there. I think I got it. Let me just put this here. Yes, so we're good. Okay, so this is the fun fold that we're going to do today. Says, well, this one says Happy Christmas. The one I make on next is not going to say Happy Christmas, but this one does. So, and then it opens, and see, we've got a little pop-up, pop-out card here. So, Happy Christmas. All right, let's start with, we're gonna reverse this whole color combination, so it's gonna be fun. So you're gonna start with your base, and our base measures, let me move these punches here a little bit. There we go. Okay, so our base for this one is going to be cherry cobbler, and it measures 5.5 by 8.5, and we scored it at 4.25. So this is what we would call just a standard card base. Okay, so it just folds in half, and that's it. That's all we got to do. All done. No, just kidding. That's just the easiest step. So next, I'm gonna take a piece of, I'm using shaded spruce, and this one I need to cut to be 5 by 8 inches. So 5 by 8. So we've got our 5 here. And then I'll turn it, and I'll just cut off 1/2 inch because I know that this is 8.5 inches. There we go. So we've got 5 by 8. Now this one we need to score in 3 different spots. So we're going to start by scoring at 2 inches. Sorry, I very aggressively pushed that cutter out of my way, but I did not want to accidentally cut my paper. Okay, we have scored at 2. Then we're going to move over here to 3.5. And then we're going to do 5.5. So that was 2, 3.5, and 5.5 is what we have now scored our paper at. Okay. Now I am going to take some designer series paper, and just to show you, this comes from the Regal's designer series paper. So there are some different patterns in here. Let me show you here. So we've got kind of the paint splatter, which we'll be using today, which is on the back side of the flowers. And then there's also, and it comes in all 10 colors in the Regal collection. And then we also have stripes on the back of leaves. So we don't really have much in the way of Christmas designer series paper right now, but this red and green is going to work perfect. So you've got things from in the Regals. If you want some Christmas paper right now, I'd highly recommend the Regals because you've got Cajun Craze. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong ink. You've got cherry cobbler, real red, garden green, shaded spruce. I mean, you've got lots of red and green options to choose from in the Regal. You know what? How crazy. I could have just read it right there. I was trying to look at my stack of ink pads next to me, and I can only see half of them because they're covered up by my computer. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's written right here. So anyways, here we go. Cherry cobbler, garden green, old olive, real red, shaded spruce. So lots of red and green options for you. So I am using cherry cobbler and shaded spruce. Just a very classic Christmas combination today. Okay. All right, so the first thing that we need, where'd my little cheat sheet go here? Is we are going to need, trying to think of which way I'm doing my color combinations. I need the same color as my primary base. So this is my main card base. So I'm going to do the same color designer series paper, 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to do 4. I'll save this strip because we're going to come back to it in just a second. 4 by 5 1/4. And then bringing this back, I also need 1 1/4 by 4 3/4. So 1 1/4 by 4 3/4. Okay. All right. Now, last but not least, we need a piece of white. And that I'm going to cut to 2 1/4 by 4 3/4. So this is for our insert. So we're going to do 2 1/4 by 4 3/4. Okay. So we've got that. All right, so we're going to bring back our card base here. And I'm just going to give it a good crease here so we can get a nice flat card base to work with. And then we have our inside piece. So again, this was scored at 2, 3.5, and 5.5. So what you end up with is 4 different panels. And I'll kind of, let me just fold a little bit on each. So you can kind of see I have 4 different panels, right? So in my card, I'm going to bring back my sample here. I am going to be creating this inside panel piece, okay? And you can see here how it connects right there, right? So actually, I just realized, you guys, I have to do the front of the card first. So back up this train. Let me set that aside. We have to do the front of the card because we can't adhere this on the inside until we've done the front panel. So we're going to attach our 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece to the front panel. And of course, you could redo this theme for any holiday or occasion that you need it to be. I've just chosen Christmas because, you know, Christmas in July. Okay. Now on my front panel, I'm going to take a 2 1/4 inch punch. You could really do any size that you want. You could also do dies to cut this out. And I'm just going to I'm going to punch a circle. Now, don't lose this circle because we are going to use it again later in our card, okay? So we don't want to lose that. Okay. Now back to my insert. So we have a larger piece, this largest panel over here on the right side of your card. Okay? So I'm going to hold that right panel and I'm going to fold this towards me. And then I'm going to fold it back this way. Okay? So we end up with this nice panel. Now don't mind, there's still one more score line. We will get to that, I promise. But for now, you're going to have this wonky shape. Okay? Kind of a Z, a very artistic Z. Okay? So we have a score line right here and we have 2 panels. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this card and I am going to be adhering this first panel to the inside of my card. Okay? So what I want to do is I want to put my piece real close to the score line, not on the score line, but just really close to it. You know, like 1/16 of an inch maybe, you know, right there. Just real close, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some tape here. And then, actually, I'm just going to let it go for a second so that I can put tape over here. So I'm also going to put some tape right here. And then let me line that back up. So real close to the score line, but not touching the score line. We're centered top and bottom. And I'm just going to close this. Okay? We're just going to close that. So we have that first panel is now adhered to the inside of my card. Now, if you have a little bit that didn't quite get adhered down, I see a little piece right here where I'd really like to have some tape. So I'm just going to add a little bit right there. Because we want that whole panel to be adhered inside your card. The most important thing though is that you don't have any tape right here, okay? Because that's going to affect how your card opens, okay? All right, so now that we have this, we are able to take our whole panel, we're going to fold back on that first score line, and we're creating a box. You see, if I put it like this, you see how we've got a nice little U shape? And we can adhere our back panel to the back of the card. So I always love with fun folds to kind of play with my fold before I go to tape anything down. I can kind of experiment with, okay, well, if I fold it this way, that's not quite how it's going to work. So before I put tape anywhere, I'm just looking at my card and I know this is the end result that I want. So let me show you an easy way to tape this down. So we know we want this. So we're just going to close our card. And so now we know it is folded the way that I need it to be for my card, right? I'm going to set it upside down. And I'm going to open it so I just have this panel folded right here. And what that lets me do is I can apply adhesive to this back panel and then close my card again. And I know it's going to be adhered in exactly the right spot. So I'm not trying to line it up in some crazy way over here. I just put tape on the back of that panel, close the card, and boom, we have our fun fold. So you can see from the top, we have this nice little box shape here, and we have our pop-up from the inside. Okay. All right, so now that I have that, we need to decorate our card. So I'm going to open it up, and on this left panel, we're going to put that designer series paper that we cut. So we had cut a piece of 1 1/4 by 4 3/4. And I'm just going to tape that right here. And then I'm going to also take the basic white, the insert that we cut, and I'm going to put that over here on this right panel. Because shaded spruce is not the easiest to write on. It's kind of a rich color. So we'll just put that there so that we have something to write on. Okay? So coming back to my closed card here, I'm going to just stick my punch right here to kind of hold that closed for right now until I can crease that down better. What I want to do is I want to use this circle that we punched out, and I'm going to use it with the cardstock facing up. So when we go to adhere this on the front of our card, we want to think about where we want adhesive. And in this case, we only want adhesive on this right side of the circle, where you see the Cherry Cobbler Designer Series paper. If you adhere down your entire circle, your card is not going to pop up when you open it. So we'll just set that right back down in there. Make sure that it pops through. Because now when I open it, my circle is not adhered. So that's what allows it to pop up and be open. See how that works? So we only put tape on the right side of this panel. So there we go. Okay, so now comes the easy part, and that is some of the embellishments and decorations that we'll add to the card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive right here to the front. because I wanted to use this gold open weave trim. So I thought I'll just set it down here in the middle of the card, and we'll just cut off the extra. Okay. Now, of course, I have some exposed adhesive there, but we will cover that up. Okay. So to do that, I have these words, Happy Holidays, from one of the ephemera packs. And I think these are scraps left over. I think I'm going to use shaded spruce. Yeah, I'm going to put that on here. So I'm just going to tape down my shaded spruce words on this scrap. Oh, let me get those. I call them tape boogers. Just put that here. We'll get our even margins around here. And then I'll take that and I'll just trim off the end, which of course you could do with a trimmer too if you're afraid you won't cut it straight. And then I'll take that entire strip and I'm sorry, I have to do another one. I just don't know when to quit when it comes to dimensionals. I just love them so much. I just never want my piece to get flattened, you know, on its way to the recipient. I want to make sure that the part I wanted popped up is still popped up when it gets to them. So very classic Christmas with red and green and some gold. So I've also taken some gold foil and I just used a slightly smaller punch. So this is the 1 7/8 inch punch. And I punched out a circle that's going to fit here in the middle. And then we have these new ephemera packs that actually have stickers in them. So that's really cool. So they're not just flat labels, they're actually a thicker, I guess cardstock, but it's a thicker, much thicker material. And you can peel off these backings to expose stickiness. So it's a ready-made sticker for you. I love it. All right, so I'm just gonna peel off the backing on this one. There we go. I don't even have to make my own stickers. They've done it for me. It's wonderful. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that down here and then I will add some dimensionals to my circle. And we'll be able to put this in the middle of our card front. There we go. And last but not least, I'm going to use the metallic gems because I wanted something gold that would tie in with obviously the gold I'm using here in the card. So we're just going to add some embellishments here, and I think I got another gold one here. I think I'll stick one of these. Maybe I'll just stick it in the corner here. Move that one over. There we go. Okay, and so here we have our Christmas card. Happy holidays. And then you could stamp or write your message right here. This is kind of nice because it gives you a small space. So you could really just write who it's to, Merry Christmas, or have a fun one, and then sign your name. This is great for when you want to quickly get some Christmas cards in the mail. You don't have a huge amount of space in which to fill. So just classic red and green with that pop of gold here. And then the flip side here, we've got our Happy Christmas. So Happy Christmas and Happy Holidays. And then just standing it up from the top so that you can see how that fold goes. Because, you know, this is actually a really easy card. It's just you have to imagine how the fold works before you apply your adhesive. So I always like to say, practice, practice, practice. Before you adhere anything, fold your paper and imagine how it is supposed to be at the end, and then apply your adhesive. So I'd love to see your version of this card. I'll show you another non-Christmas version. So it says, "Hello, friend. Thank you so very much." So lots of different ways you could do this theme, and I'd love to see your version of it. So don't forget to post it over in the Handcrafted Blessings community group so we can see what you are making, whether it's for Christmas in July or for some other occasion. And until next time, don't forget to encourage one another and build each other up. I'll see you soon.